Now, the table is always hot with current events and social issues, but sometimes the heat can get a little intense.
Yeah.
Let's turn the temp down, take a breather, and get into this week's topic cool down. So, Andre, do you believe that there is such thing as bad music taste? And how would you describe your own music taste?
I do not believe there's a such thing as bad music tastes. I don't. I think that there are tastes that are not for you. There are flavors of music that do not exactly tittle your fancy. But I don't think there's such thing as bad music. I think that all music is in a form of expression, just like all writing and all singing and all everything that it's all a form of expression. So I don't think there's such thing as bad music taste. I just think that, like you said, it just if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But for me personally, my music taste, it is a very strange range of things. Like, because I mostly am attracted to music that makes me feel something. And whether it's a, you know, old Mozart piece or a Beethoven piece or a heavy rap or even death metal, like some metal and stuff like that. And like, it's a really strange kind of like, I've listened to Russian, like Slavic music, I think that's what they call it, like something like that or whatever, like all kinds of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's a lot. Like I can't really I can't really put it into words. It's just really diverse because it's pop 1 minute, rap 1 minute, soft rock, hardcore rock, like I said, Russian music, this kind of, I mean, it's everything. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place.
I completely agree. I think that the only bad music taste is exclusionary music taste. The type of music taste where you believe that there cannot be any good out of X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, there can't be any good music after the 1980s because all of this new stuff, trash. Or there can't be any type of good hip hop music because
Yeah.
hip hop music is dirty. And like, I think that's the only type of bad music taste is music taste that is rooted in some type of exclusionary and, let's be honest, sometimes racist things. But I think, yeah, that's bad music taste. My music taste, very similarly, is just off the wall. Like
Yeah.
it is all over the map. Like you said, I will be listening to just about any and everything. And I think that's part of just like me enjoying music as just music. It's one of those things that there is something to gain from every genre of music. I can find a hip hop song that I like easily. I can find an R&B song that I like easily. I can
Yeah.
find a country song that I like easily. And I'm about to say this and so many Christians are about to get mad, but there be some Christian songs that slap. Like it
Honestly,
makes you feel like you want to throw it back.
honestly, I'm not Christian whatsoever, but that gospel music, some of that gospel music, I'm not gonna lie, it slap. It do slap. Like it really
Slaps
do be
makes you want to
like,
throw it back in a circle.
girl. I mean, for real. Like, and I feel so. I mean, because like it's really crazy to me that like we really do exist in a society. I mean, I remember growing up thinking that people were telling me like, "Oh, you listen to that white people music, that white boy music, and whatever case may be." And it's like, girl, I just listen to music. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't understand where that kind of what is it called? Like superior, like, oh, you need to, if you're black, you have to listen to black music. If you're white, you have to listen to white music. If you're whatever, whatever. It's like, no, what if it makes you feel good? What the fuck? Like,
Doesn't matter.
it
Right. And
doesn't
I think that
matter.
it's something that's just like listen to whatever you want to listen to. And also like music taste evolves over time. Like I know when I was a child, all up until like I would say 6th or 7th grade, I did not listen to music with like lyrics in it at all.
Really?
Like the only thing that I really listened to was like video game music and stuff like that. That's all I listened to. And then, my music taste evolved because I had a crush on somebody, but that's a conversation for a different day. But like I said, music taste can evolve and change over time. And, there are some times when I am just in love with like disco music and all I
Yeah.
listen to is disco music. There are some times when I be in my room and I just be like, I want to hear some praise and worship Christian songs,
Yeah.
catch the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit. And even though I'm not super religious, like I want to listen to that. There are some times when I just need a good trap beat to rock with, and that's it.
I wanted to ask you, do you have like an artist category on your phone?
Yeah, like like the Spotify
Yeah,
stuff.
I have mine, and I'm just pulled mine up just now. Like, even just looking at me, I have Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Destiny's Child, The Script, The Fray, One Republic, a little bit of Drake, Linkin Park, Beyonce, the Queen, of course, Hauser, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Eminem, The Weeknd, Jhené Aiko, Fallout Boy, Audrey Assad, La Portia Renee. I mean, like literally going through my like list of people like J. Cole, Queen Herbie, I mean, Cupcake. I mean, it really just varies to so
Right.
many different places. And like oftentimes too, I don't know about you, do you ever listen to like you ever hear songs from like shows that are specifically made for the show? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever heard about this, but you remember Scooby-Doo back in the day?
Yeah.
The movies and shit? The Hex Girls?
Hex Girls.
The Hex Girls. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
there was
gonna
like there,
spell up you.
like that shit. Oh, here we go. Earth, wind,
Wait,
fire, and air. We may look bad, but we don't care. Like, shit like that, or like Trap of Love, Burn My Your Fire, like that. I mean, it really be slapping. And like people be like, "Oh, what are you
really?
listening to?" And I'll be like, "Girls, a Scooby Doo song."
Also, people love to like shit on like music from music shows. Like
Yeah.
people like to shit on like music from Glee or like Victorious or Empire, even
Oh,
Empire, and I'm like, shit
Victorious.
slaps.
Victorious. I have several songs from Victorious saved on my phone.
Elizabeth Gillies, Ariana Grande, Give It Up.
Oh, bitch, that fucking song when I say, yeah, like I swear you cannot tell me I don't have a concert in my room when that song comes on. You cannot tell me I don't have a stadium full of thousands of people screaming my name when I'm just fucking it up and doing my little 8 count or some shit. But like literally, like you said before, the people be really shitting on shows that make music, and it's like, girl, like them songs be really hitting. And I thought these were for the longest time. I thought that show like music shows were kind of like Glee, where it's like they were doing covers of songs. I didn't know that a lot of the songs from Victorious and also that they were made on the show. So these are like
Right.
the songs specifically from Victorious, or like you said, Elizabeth Gillies, Ariana Grande. Like, I'm like, this shit hitting.
Really?
But yeah, I think that like I said, just to kind of bring it on home, like I think that music taste, like I said, as long as you feel something from the music, don't feel no shame in bopping that shit, girl. Don't feel no shame in it at all.
Right.
If you listen to heavy metal, dark, death metal music, and that shit make you go, it make you throw that ass in a circle, bitch. Do you fuck everybody else? You know what I'm saying? I do. I want to ask you too
Right.
before, but like, do you ever get nervous? Like when someone puts your auxiliary cord in and they go like, just play something. And I'm like,
All the time. Because like I'm someone where it's just like there's just so much that I listen to that like I put something in, there's no telling. So what I've done is just like create a whole bunch of playlists
yeah,
so that I know,
yeah.
okay, let me just like figure out the vibe and choose a playlist that matches the vibe because otherwise like
Bitch, I do the same thing. I'm like, I'll be sitting in the car and I'm like, okay, I don't think they will like my music. So I'll go to like my, what is it called? The safe, the songs, the Lil Wayne,
mhm.
maybe some like, Mariah Carey, maybe a little bit of that, a little bit
Something
of,
that's like radio.
yeah, like a radio. Because I'm like, if I actually played and let my songs play as they play, people be looking at me like I'm crazy as hell because I'm telling you, my shuffle button goes from heavy
Dangerous.
ass fucking rock
It's
music
dangerous.
to rap to pop to slow to all kinds of R. It's just everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. So I
Mines
think
would go from like Kirk Franklin to like the Undertaker theme. And it's like, what's happening?
now, So many children grow up never knowing the full scope of what their culture has contributed to society and history. So it's time for a change. Let's take a pause, rewind, and remind the world just how we did that. Now, in an article on Billboard, we learn about Sylvia Robinson, hip hop's first godmother, but she still never seems to get the credit she deserves for cultivating the genre of rap. In the summer of 1979, Robinson conceived and produced the single Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang that transformed the street culture of hip hop into commercially viable art forms. Now, it was not only the first rap single to conquer the radio and the charts, topping Billboard's R&B tally and reaching number 37 on the Hot 100, but the first to sell over 1 million copies. Now, after facing criticism from hip hop pioneers for fabricating the Sugar Hill Gang from 3 wannabe rappers, Robinson filled out her roster with genuine acts from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the Funky 4+1, and the Treacherous Three. Within a few years, she had built one of the top independent labels in America, Sugar Hill Records, along with her husband, Joe Robinson. Her success with Sugar Hill was historic. She's arguably one of the most consequential producers and label owners of all time. Her business opened the doors for all the independents that followed, from Def Jam to Top Dog, and her music pioneered distinct concepts that set the template for hip hop's entire creative arc. From party rocking to the DJ as a musician to social consciousness, Sugar Hill made everything possible for today's hip hop stars.
Her. Speaking of empire, that sounds like Cookie Lion right there.
Baby,
A badass woman in the hip hop industry.
Bitch, this is why the fuck we are here with it. Bitch, I was just about to make that fucking joke. I was just about to do that. It seems like a Cookie Lion to me.
Right. Well, on the topic of just Black pioneers, Willie Smith was a fashion designer who was one of the most successful African Americans in the fashion industry. He spent most of his childhood sketching and believing he was destined to be a designer. By 1969, his name was on the label of a sportswear brand called Digits. Smith subsequently established his own clothing line and company, Williewear. Williewear sold 25 million worth of garments each and every year during the height of his career. Smith worked with architecture, cinema, art, and performance, and talked about wanting to transform marketing. In the Spider-Man comic book and comic strip, Mary Jane Watson's wedding gown when she married Peter Parker in 1987 was designed by Willie Smith. Williewear served as foreshadowing of fashion trends to come. Known as the pioneer of street couture, Williewear blended casual and sporty, high and low designs, and was affordable and adaptable for many areas.
Black people.
Period.
Black motherfucking people. Oh, baby. When we come, honey, we come correct. Okay?
We rule culture.
Baby, we are the culture. The fuck?
Exactly.
Now, as always, thank you all so much for watching, and keep the conversation going down in the comment box below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you are listening to us on our podcast, please rate and review on whatever platform you're using. You can also follow us on our podcast on Instagram and TikTok at the Melanin Margin for updates of new content.
And if you'd like to follow each of us, our handles are at Daquon MUE
and at Andre Talks a Lot.
Now, we will see you all next week on the Melanin Margin, where our goal is always to bring the marginalized to the spotlight in any way we can. Goodbye now.